Hey YouTube, it's me, Sammy Jo. I am here today to make this video about my piercings. I'm going to be talking about roughly how old I was when I got each piercing and the pain level. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I've gotten a comment or two requesting this video, so I finally found time and here it is. So first we're going to, start off by pulling my hair back. So my first piercing was actually, like most people, my lobe piercing. I don't remember it. I was very young. My parents took me to get that piercing. And I want to say I was like 2 months old or something like that. I don't really remember, obviously, but and then I got these ones. Oh, on the first ones, so when I was in high school, I stretched them. I stretched them up to a 2, and so they're kind of not the prettiest little things, and I usually don't wear jewelry in them now. I did shrink them back down because I think I remember they were irritating me a lot. They got really itchy, and I had them stretched for over a year, and I just finally decided to let them close up. And then at the time I also had these ones stretched, but these were a 4. No, they were a 6 at the time. They're a 4 right now. These were my second piercings. They also started off small. I was in 2nd grade when I got those, and now they are stretched. I haven't had any issues with these. They've been stretched for 3 years. Actually, a lot longer than that, because they were stretched. I started stretching them in high school, and I'm 24 now, so a while. And then next were the 3rd holes. My dad took me to get these done in, I want to say it was in 3rd grade. And my mom went to go get her haircut at the mall, and my dad decided to take me to go get my 3rd lobe piercing. I loved them. My mom didn't even notice them, and we made it all the way home, and I kind of like hinted towards her looking at my ears, and she was not very happy about it, but she got over it. And then in 5th grade is when I started getting the more serious piercings, and that was my cartilage, which I think is also known as a helix piercing. And you're gonna notice that for a very long time I was very even. If I got a piercing on one ear, I had to have it on the other ear. And so that's gonna be this top one and this one right here. Actually, I think it's the bottom. Yeah, the top one. And it was in 5th grade when I got those. The pain scale for those, I have a very high pain tolerance, and so the pain scale for those, I remember it being like a 3. And obviously for these down here, the pain scale, I remember when I was younger, I used to describe it as like an ant bite, or like a little pinch. So I probably a 1 for all of these. As far as stretching goes, for me stretching was really easy until I got up to the 4, the size 4, in this one. That's why I stopped here. Obviously it was a little easier for the first lobe piercing. I did get up to a 2 on that one, and I never wanted to go to a 0 because I was afraid they wouldn't shrink back down. This one did okay. It just didn't do great. Like I was hoping for it to be the way it was before, and that didn't happen in my case. So I know it's happened for others, but it didn't for me. And then, so what is next? I got oh, is it this guy? Yes, my industrial bar. My industrial bar I got done in 8th grade. That one also didn't hurt too much. I'd say about a 3. I didn't have any issues with it. I know a lot of people, for some reason, will get like keloids on this one, and I never had that issue. And I think this one healed pretty quickly for me too. Yeah, I was in 8th grade, in middle school. And then I went to high school, and my freshman year, I got my Tragus on both sides. And I got those done at my house because I have a family friend did almost all of my piercings. He did everything in my ear, that's for sure. Except for the lobes, of course, because I was younger at the time. I got these 3 done at Claire's. Even the one when I was a baby. I do know, my parents told me that. But yeah, everything else in here is done by the same guy. And he pierced pretty much majority of them at my house. So the Tragus were done at my house on the kitchen table. And those, I remember those also were about a 3. I've heard people say that they hear a popping noise when they get those done. I didn't have that experience. It was a very easy piercing for me to have healed. And yeah, my mom with those though was not happy at all. She actually kind of broke down, and she did cry. She just felt like, because she originally had told me no, and of course my dad said yes, and so I went ahead and got them done, and she just kind of felt like, her word didn't really mean anything, and so, but I think after that one she kind of figured, she was like, well, she's gonna do what she's gonna do, so no need in crying over it. And then, so that's the Tragus. After that, I got my Snugs done. These are also both sides. And I think I was a junior when I got those. I think so. And then I want to say those were a 4. Yeah. And then these also were, these to this day are the ones that I have the most issues with. I do not sleep on a regular pillow. Ever since I've gotten these, I have slept on a travel pillow. And so it's like, the horseshoe travel pillow that goes around your neck. I lay it on the bed, and then I sleep with the circle part placed so that my ear doesn't touch anything. Because if I were to sleep on a regular pillow, these actually will get swollen, and they get very, very sensitive, and they'll bother me throughout the whole day. And it usually lasts like a couple days before the swelling and the pain will go back away. So I would say those, and this one, of course. This is also a Snug. It's just in a different position. It's a little higher up. This one, as you can see, is swollen at the moment, but I'd say that one's almost always swollen. I'm not exactly sure why, but there's no pain with it right now. It's just a little larger than like this side of my ear. And usually taking this one out for whatever reason causes bleeding, and I've had that one for a long time, actually. Yeah, I was a senior in high school when I got this one, and yeah, I'm not sure I would recommend this one to people. It definitely has caused me a lot of problems compared to all the other piercings that I've had. Let's see what else. Oh, when I was a sophomore in high school, I got my nose done. I still have it. I used to wear a stud. Well, I usually wear a stud because of this. But yeah, I got that as a sophomore, and I actually got in trouble for it a few times at school because the high school I went to did not allow, basically they didn't allow tattoos, facial piercings, or like ripped jeans, no faded clothing, like no bleached clothing and stuff like that. And so they were really strict on that. But I would usually get away with wearing a clear stud. The only time I would ever get caught is when I would go outside, because our campus was an open campus, and walking from class to class, my retainer would turn purple in the sunlight, and then I would get caught for it. So that was the only issue I ever had with that in high school. I'd say pain scale for that was a 2. My eyes did water, but I'm pretty sure that's just a reaction to the location of the piercing. Yeah. And then, what else? I did... Oh, yeah, so Snug and my rook. So this is the rook right here. I only have, this is where I started to kind of loosen up on the having to be so even all the time. So I did the Snug already. The rook, I only have on one side. I don't have it over here. There's not one in there. I want to say that was about a 4, but only because of the clamps. I have tiny ears, and the clamps hurt so bad. And then I also want to say this is like the only piercing that actually bled a lot when I got it done. I've heard people say that this is supposed to help with migraines. I've had a lot of migraines growing up, and I wouldn't say that it has helped me at all. But that also might be because of the placement, because I've noticed that mine is a little further in my ear than most people's would be. So I think usually it would be a little further out. So, I mean, I've heard it works for some people, but it hasn't worked for me. And again, I don't know if that's the placement or if it's just the person. What else? So this guy right here, I cannot remember when I got it, but I want to say maybe I was 20 or so. Yeah, I was, because I had already moved out. I moved away from home, and then when I came back during Christmas vacation, I think it was, I got it done. And that was like a 2, no big deal. And then I didn't clean it like I have all my other ones, and I mean, it's fine. Just hangs out there with all the others. I didn't have any issues with it whatsoever. I think I only cleaned it for like 2 weeks, which is really bad. Don't do that. I know I didn't have any issues, but who's to say you will or will not. So, what else? My lip piercing. So I believe this is called a labret. I don't know for sure. Growing up, I always knew the labret as being the center one. I mean, I would assume it's still a labret, it's just off to the side. I got that when I was 19. Yeah. Yes. I think. I don't think I had it in high school. I don't really remember. Around that time in my life, I got my labret. And that was like a 0 in pain. I literally did not feel it at all. I didn't feel it. I don't know why. I just didn't. And at first when I got it, I didn't really like it because I was expecting it to be closer to my lip. And I don't know. I've definitely gotten used to it, and I don't like taking it out, so I leave it in. I'd say for the longest time I had this and the nose piercing, and I really liked the way those two look together. I've definitely added more to my face since then, so I think it still all goes together though pretty well. I think, in my opinion anyways. And then, so did I miss any on my? I did. So these on the inside. What are these? The daith? These are the daith, yeah. So I got these also when I was 19. And yeah, because I got them the same time when I got this. And those also hurt. Those were, I would also say, about a 4. Another issue with the clamps. The clamps hurt really bad. And healing for these was pretty easy. You know, it is a place that gets really dirty. So you do need to clean them every now and then, like with a Q-tip, and just keep them clean. You don't want them to get infected, because that would be a very painful spot if it got swollen or anything went wrong in there. So, but yeah, you should really clean all of your piercings, because you don't want them to get infected. You don't want any issues. You don't want your ear falling off. Yeah, and I think that covers it for my ears. Get them all. Oh, this one. I missed this one. Tiny little 4th lobe stud. I did this myself last year. Yeah. And this was another piercing that I only cleaned for like 2 weeks. And I mean, it's doing fine. No issues here. Looking good. Okay, and then so my face. What did I miss? I missed my septum. My septum I got when I was 23, which was last year. And that was, I'd say about in between a 2 and a 3. My eyes did not water when I got this one, and there was no discomfort or anything when I got it. I think this is the only one that I've gotten from somebody else, and I was actually really impressed by the guy that did it. He walked me through the steps and told me all the care instructions and everything, and it was just like a really good environment to be in. And yeah, there is like very little pain with it, and I have heard a lot of people say that this was a very painful piercing for them. I actually worked with a guy who has stretched his septum, and he said that when he got it pierced, it hurt so bad. He said it was about a 6. But once again, that's one of those things, it's just, it depends on the person. And then, of course, me having such a high pain tolerance, 2 to 3. And I love this thing as well. My dad we were matching for a little while, but he had to take his out. But yeah, I think it's one of my favorites now. And then my smiley. I did this to myself, which some of y'all may have seen in my video that I have posted. And that one, maybe a 1 to 2. It's just like the thinnest piece of skin. It did not hurt. And then a lot of people, when they ask about it, I'll tell them that I did it myself, and they're like, "What? You're crazy. That had to have hurt. I would have passed out." I'm just like, high pain tolerance. I don't know. I didn't know. And then we're going to go to retired piercings. I had done my frowny, and I haven't done an update on my smiley or my frowny. I did take the frowny out 2 days after I pierced it. It was sitting, so one of the beads was sitting like right in between here, and it had left an indention in my gums, and I was like, heck no, we're not doing that. I did not want to have receded gums, so it would have probably been really bad if I left it in. It was not very comfortable either. That one was painful. Doing that one was, I'd say, maybe a 3. That one was more difficult to do as well. Being so far down in there, and then at the same time I had done it crooked. So one side was staying up, but the other side was staying down. And it just wasn't very comfortable. That one did not last, and I would not recommend doing that one either. Yeah. Another retired piercing that I got it when I was 16, and this was done also on my kitchen table, and they were my favorite piercings. I had my what are they called? Implants. I had gotten implants done on my hips, and they were beautiful. I loved them so much. But they rejected, so I had to get them taken out. They didn't last me very long. I'd say maybe a year. And then I also had my snake eyes, which I also have a video on here somewhere of that. And that is that piercing. That also did not last, unfortunately. Yeah, so that's it. That's me. That's my piercings. If y'all have any questions, if I missed anything, just comment below and let me know. I hope y'all enjoyed. Bye, guys.